All right, guys. I just wanted to post another update here. I've went and got a 8.8 limited slip rear end from the wrecking yard. This came out of a 99 Ford Explorer. I don't know if you can see me, but came out of a 99 Ford Explorer. It's got disc brake, and more importantly, it's got limited slip. So these things are really easy to put in an S10. Basically, this is my original, the base plate, and then, so I should have videotaped me doing it, but they're pretty easy to put in, really. The actual rear end is 3 inches wider, give or take, than the original rear end, but where the leaf springs mount up, the leaf spring has a little post it's a bolt right in the very center right here. And then the mount, the little plate here, it has a hole in it. So those studs or the hole on the axle, they are 1 inch center to center wider. So the leaf springs, I had to literally move them out a 1/2 inch each, and they just clicked right in. But in order to, because you can't use the original, okay, these are the plates. This is the plate that comes with the 8.8 rear end. And the problem is the way, if I used this plate, the way the shock mounts, for one thing, it's a smaller bolt hole for the shock, and it moves it out further, and it doesn't quite, you know what I mean, it doesn't line up. So I'm using the original GM base plate, and all you really do is where the holes are, you kind of just make the hole bigger. I just sat here and drilled it out wide enough that the bigger U-bolts can fit through there, and then bolted up. And so I'm waiting for my adapter, so for my brake line, because the Ford one is a 1/4 inch, and the GM, where it comes out, where is it? It's like right here. Oh, right here. This is a 3/16 standard pipe thread. And I went all over today to Ace Hardware, Home Depot, all the little hardware shops, and they're like, there is no 3/16 national pipe thread. There is, but it's an odd one. You're not going to find it from anywhere. I had to order it, so it should be in here pretty soon. And then, so I got one of my shocks in. I still got to bolt up the other shock mount. And as far as adapting, so I couldn't get the yoke off of the driveline at the wrecking yard because I didn't bring a hammer with me, and it was pouring down rain. I tried to get it off using various like an axle as a hammer while I was there. So I ended up, I ordered an adaptive one, and it fits a 1310 U-joint. So that's what this is. So I hope it fits, If it doesn't, I'll go back to the wrecking yard. I stashed the driveline with the yoke on it. The yoke's the part that, connects the rear end to the axle. Or to the driveline, I'm sorry. Anyway, so if the one that I ordered, it was only $30. So if it doesn't fit, I'll either, make it fit, or I'll go back to the wrecking yard and pull off that yoke. But, yeah, these drivelines, they're awesome, man. So let's see, when I spin the yoke, both the wheels, it's, both turning. Another thing that, if you're going to put an 8.8 rear end in your S10, which I cannot recommend more, I put one in my 4-wheel drive one, and I don't know why they call them a 4-wheel drive. You know what I mean? Because you got an open differential front and rear. You're going from, one wheel, and then you engage it to 4-wheel. You now have 2 wheels driving. With an open differential, you only got 1 tire at any given time. The one with the least resistance. you know, with a limited slip, if you hit the gas, they're both going. You know, it's awesome. But another thing that you gotta do is, you know, the Ford bolt pattern. I'm gonna shut this door. The Ford bolt pattern is 5 on 4.5. So what some people do, and what my buddy S10 issues did, pulled the axle shaft out, removed the old lugs, the actual studs, and he bought a jig and he actually drilled the Chevy bolt pattern in and inserted new studs in there. And what I did on my truck, my 4-wheel drive, because it's a 4-wheel drive and I don't care if the tires stick out, I bought adapters, and they're an 1.5 inches. So the rear end is 3 inches wider, plus another 3 inches because both of the adapters. So, but really on my 4-wheel drive one, the tires only stick out past the fenders like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Yeah, I mean, it really isn't a big deal. But for this one, since it's going to be my street race and drag truck, I went to Les Schwab's and spent too much money, but I ordered some decent wheels and some 30-inch tires, 10 inches wide. So yeah, it's going to rip. But yeah, so I just wanted to, you know, give you guys an update of where I'm at, what I'm doing here. So, you know, it's a work in progress. All right, guys. Take her easy. Is that rear end? Oh yeah, another thing. I was able to get the traction bars as well. Track bars. I don't know what these are. They're almost like Caltrack bars, and so that's what I'm going to use them as. So once I get, well, really I can do it now. If I take my jack stands, you know, lift it up, put the jack stands under the axle so that all the weight is on the axle like it's supposed to, and then I will bolt these guys up. I might have to drill a hole. I might get lucky, and because it looks like it could fucking go right there, and it really doesn't matter what side, where it goes. These guys, the whole purpose of them, the whole purpose is it's going to prevent axle wrap. So, you know, when you hit the gas and the tires rotate forward, the axle wants to tweak like this, and your leaf springs kind of S a little bit. You know, that's called axle wrap. So that's what these traction bars are all about. So I think that's pretty cool. When I pulled the rear end, my other rear end didn't have these, you know, and I think that that's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna make these work too, you know. Like, I'm not sure if I should build an adjustable mount for it, so that, because like Caltrack bars work the exact same way, only usually they're mounted underneath. Usually this knuckle, it actually bolts down here, and then it goes to the back right, you know, right here, right where the leaf spring mounts up, and then there's like a little ear thing, and then the shaft, and then you can adjust it right here for firmness with the Caltracks. I mean, I've never run them. I know they're awesome, and I've been looking at them, and it's like $300, and it's cool. But I'm gonna run these, and we'll see. You know, we'll see how it does. I think it's pretty cool, though. You know, this thing is a junkyard survivor, man. So I think that's it as far as my update. It's running and ripping, and now I'm gonna be hauling some ass, man. So cool. All right, guys. Laters.